Hello everyone, welcome back to your physics class. I hope you all are good. In the previous video, we have done the revision of the topic measurement of time. So today we will start with the next topic, that is measurement of temperature. Here we will revise this topic. So firstly we will define temperature. Temperature can be defined as a degree of hotness or coldness of a body. Degree means it can be defined as a measure of hotness or coldness of a body. Temperature is a fundamental quantity like other fundamental quantities: length, mass, time, electric current, luminous intensity. It is also fundamental because it doesn't depend on other quantities, and as it is a physical quantity or a fundamental quantity, so it can be measured. That means it is a measurable quantity because it will give us the idea about the heat content or the heat amount of a body, that how much heat is contained by a body. So that is given by the temperature. Next topic is that hotness and coldness are relative terms. So what do we mean by relative terms? A term is said to be relative when it is compared in relation to another term or another quantity or another object. So that's why these hotness and coldness are said relative terms, because these are dependent on each other, or these are compared in relation to each other. So for this, let's have a look on an activity to confirm that how hotness and coldness are relative terms. So for that we need 3 containers, each filled with ice cold water, normal water and hot water. So what we have to do, firstly we will keep these containers on the table, and after that we will dip our one hand in the ice cold water and the second hand in the hot water for a minute. After that we will take out our hands from both of these containers and we will dip our both hands in the normal water. So what we will observe that the hand that we have earlier dipped in the ice cold water, it will feel warmer to us, and that hand that we have earlier dipped in the hot water will feel colder to us. So why it happened? It happened because, as we know, the substances whose temperature is greater than our body temperature will appear hot to us, and those whose temperature is low than our normal body temperature will appear cold to us. That this is the reason that these hot water, that the ice cold water, that the hand dipped in the ice cold water feels warm, and that we have already dipped in the hot water feels cold, because the reason is there that the object whose temperature is greater than our body temperature, it will appear hot to us, and those who having lower temperature than our body temperature will appear cold to us. So the conclusion here is that both the hands that are dipped in the normal water, they have different sensations. So from this it is clear that hotness and coldness are relative terms, because these are compared in relation to another object. So it is confirmed from this idea. So next is temperature dependence on kinetic energy of the particles, or temperature of a body is related to average kinetic energy of the particles of a body. So what is the concept here? More the kinetic energy of the particles of a body, the higher will be its temperature. Because what is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy of any body is due to the motion of the body, or we can say here the kinetic energy of the particles of a body is due to the motion of the particles. As we know that there are some particles in between any body, or these can be also called as atoms, which can be closely packed or loosely packed according to the state of the particle or state of the body, that it is whether it is solid, liquid or gas. So if the kinetic energy of the particles of a body is more, then the temperature will be high. So this is the relation between temperature and kinetic energy of the particles of a body. Next is units for measuring temperature. The SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. There are 2 other units also. that is degree Celsius and Fahrenheit, and these three units have derived from the names of three scientists, that is Gabriel Fahrenheit, Lord William Kelvin and Anders Celsius, and on the basis of their names there are different scales which also refer to these three units, that are Fahrenheit scale, Celsius scale and Kelvin scale, that we will further see in detail. So Fahrenheit scale ranges from 32 degree Fahrenheit to 212 degree Fahrenheit, Celsius scale ranges from 0 degree Celsius to 100 degree Celsius, and Kelvin scale ranges from 273 Kelvin to 373 Kelvin. So let's have a look on these three different scales. Here are the construction of the three different scales. We can see first is the Kelvin scale, second is the Celsius scale, and third is the Fahrenheit scale. So in the Celsius scale we can see that there are some points in all the three scales. We have marked some points like boiling point, room temperature, freezing point, body temperature. All these we have marked. So let's discuss about these. In all these scales, in all the three scales, or we can say that in each temperature scale there are two reference points. These reference points are known as freezing point of water and boiling point of water. Freezing point of water is also known as lower fixed point, and boiling point of water is also known as upper fixed point. In Kelvin scale, the freezing point or the lower fixed point is 273 Kelvin, and the boiling point is, or we can say that upper fixed point is 373 Kelvin. And here is the room temperature, that is equal to 298 Kelvin, and the body temperature here is 310 Kelvin. So when we subtract the upper fixed point from the lower fixed point, then we will get 100. That means there will be equal 100 divisions in between the upper fixed point and the lower fixed point. That means the reference points are further divided into smaller divisions that are equal to 100. So there are 100 divisions in between these two reference points when we have subtracted the upper fixed point from the lower fixed point, that will be equal to 100. These are the smaller divisions. Divisions means these lines. So next is the Celsius scale. In Celsius scale, the freezing point of water or the lower fixed point is 0 degree Celsius, and the upper fixed point or the boiling point is 100 degree Celsius. And when we subtract 100 from 0 degree Celsius, then we will get 100 divisions. That means there are same divisions on the Celsius scale like that of the Kelvin scale in between these two reference points, and here the room temperature will be equal to 25 degrees Celsius. In Kelvin it is 298 Kelvin, but in degrees Celsius 25 degrees Celsius. Although the temperature of a given object will give the different readings on the different scales, but these readings will indicate the same temperature. Means कि अगर हम तीनों स्केल में किसी भी ऑब्जेक्ट का टेम्परेचर देखेंगे तो उसकी जो रीडिंग होगी दैट विल बी डिफरेंट. Here it is 298 Kelvin, here it is 25 degrees Celsius, what it is room temperature, and in the Fahrenheit scale room temperature is 77 degree Fahrenheit, but we can see the temperature is the temperature of that particular object will remain the same. That means they will indicate the same temperature, whether the readings are different, because there are different divisions on the different scales, and these are different scales, that's why these are giving different readings, but the temperature remains same. As we can take the example of water, the boiling point or the freezing point of water is constant or particular. There is a particular boiling point of water or particular freezing point of water. That means this change takes place at a particular temperature. So temperature will be same, but in the three scales the readings will be different. Here freezing point is 273 Kelvin, here freezing point is 0 degree Celsius, and in Fahrenheit scale it is 32 degree Fahrenheit. So we can see the body temperature in Celsius scale is 37 degrees Celsius, and if we see the Fahrenheit scale, there is the freezing point of water is 32 degree Fahrenheit, or the lower fixed point is 32 degree Fahrenheit, and the upper fixed point or boiling point is 212 degree Fahrenheit. And when we subtract this 32 degree Fahrenheit from 12 degree Fahrenheit, then we will get 180 equal divisions in between these two reference points. And here is the body temperature, that is equal to 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. So these are the three different scales which are representing the different readings of temperature, but the temperature of a body being remaining constant, being the same. So I have given you an example. For example, freezing point of water occur at a particular temperature. Although it is represented by the three scales differently, so we can say that the reading of the temperature will remain the different, but the temperature is same. Next is, as in these we have discussed, these are the two reference points, freezing point of water and boiling point of water. Next is the conversion of units of temperature. We can convert these units of temperature one into other, like there is a relationship between Fahrenheit and Celsius scale. Degree Celsius is equal to 5/9 multiplied by degree Fahrenheit minus 32. That means if we have to convert degree Fahrenheit, the temperature in degree Fahrenheit, then we will put the value of that Fahrenheit reading in this relation, and we will get the that temperature in degree Celsius. Similarly, if we have to convert degree Celsius into degree Fahrenheit, then we will just reverse this formula. That means this 9/5 will be multiplied by degree Celsius, and this 32 will become positive when we shift this 32 onto the other side of the equality. So it will be equal to this formula. The formula is same. We have to learn one out of these two. So next is relation between Kelvin and Celsius temperature scales. Kelvin is equal to degree Celsius plus 273. Or if we have to convert or to find out the value of degree Celsius, then we will just transpose this 273 on the other hand, and it will be equal to Kelvin minus 273. So these are the relationship between the different scales of temperature or the different units of temperature that we can convert from one unit to another. Next is the thermometer. Thermometer, we all know that it is a measuring device which is used to measure temperature of a body or to measure body temperature. The construction of thermometer is like this. You all have seen. Thoroughly we will read it. What is it? It consists of a long cylindrical glass tube of narrow diameter, and which is over which markings are made. These are the markings, and corresponding to different scales that can be different for the different scales like Kelvin, Fahrenheit or degree Celsius accordingly. And at the end there is a small bulb which contains a liquid that can be either alcohol or mercury, known as the thermometric liquid, and it is used to measure the temperature of the body. Means how we can define the construction or how we can explain the construction of a thermometer, that we can say that there are two tubes, one inside the other. That means there is the small or the thin tube which is known as the capillary tube, which will contain the thermometric liquid that can be either mercury or alcohol, and there is a bulb at the end, and the other end of the thermometer is sealed, and there are some markings which is known as the main scale, which correspond to different scales of the temperature that can be either in Kelvin, degree Celsius or Fahrenheit. And the outer tube is also known as the stem. इसको जो the outer scale or the outer tube is also known as the stem. So this is the construction of the thermometer. Now how we see that how the thermometer works. Thermometer works on the principle of expansion of liquids on heating, or the contraction of liquids on cooling, we can say, because when we insert the bulb of the thermometer into our body whose temperature is to be measured, then the heat energy of the body, if the body is heated up, then whose temperature is being measured, then the heat energy of the body causes the fluid in the thermometer to expand, and it will move up in the tube. Here this, if the body is hot, then the temperature of the liquid, then the fluid in the thermometer will get expand due to the temperature of the body, and it will rise up in the capillary tube, and by noting down the level of the fluid from the scale, we will get the temperature of the body in degrees Kelvin or Celsius scale. So accordingly the thermometer works, and if the body is cold, then the liquid in this capillary tube will get contract and it will fall down, and by noting down the level of the mercury or the level of the liquid in the capillary tube, opposite or in front of the scale, we can get the temperature of the body in degrees Kelvin or Celsius scale. So this is the working of thermometer. Next is the types of thermometer. There are two types of thermometer: laboratory thermometer and clinical thermometer. Firstly, we will read about laboratory thermometer. Laboratory thermometer is mainly used in the labs like chemistry or physics labs or any other experimental labs, in which we can measure the temperature of various objects, various chemicals, and it consists of two glass tubes, one placed in the other. As I have already explained, the inner tube is capillary tube, also known as the bore. This is also known as the bore. This thin tube is also known as bore, and the upper end of this capillary tube is sealed, and the lower end is connected to a bulb which is filled with either mercury or alcohol, and the outer tube is called this time, and the range of this thermometer is minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. This you have to learn. So next is how to read a laboratory thermometer correctly. As I have already explained in the working of the thermometer, we just have to place this thermometer in the mouth of the body whose temperature is to be measured, and if the temperature of the body is low or high, then accordingly the liquid will rise or fall in the capillary tube, and it will give us the reading on the main scale, and according to that we can get the temperature, we can get the reading of the temperature of the body. So what precautions we have to follow while using a laboratory thermometer? First is that the laboratory thermometer should be kept upright. It should not be tilted like this. It should be kept upright, not like this. And the mercury bulb is properly dipped in the substance. This bulb should be dipped in the substance. That means it should not be outside the substance whose temperature is to be measured, and the bulb should not touch with the base or the sides of the container. That means if we have to find out the temperature of any liquid, then we will have to put this thermometer properly inside the beaker in which the liquid is contained. So by following these precautions, we can find out the correct measurement or correct reading of the temperature. So I hope this topic is clear to you. The next topic that is left, we will do in the next video. I hope you will clear all these things. Thank you.